Well, hopefully you will come to our school. I'm sure you'll really enjoy it because we all do.
Alright, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So Rebecca, how was your first day in the school?
Well, it was quite nerve-wracking to start with, but to be honest, I got into it really easily. To start with, we all had to gather in the hall, and in fact, I was actually in a class with quite a lot of my friends, but also made a lot of new friends. What about you, Chloe?
Well, I didn't really know anybody in my class, so I had to make friends. But it was good. Now we're here with Lauren.
Lauren, what have you seen tonight that you're most looking forward to?
TD, because it's like really interesting. So I look forward to it when I come.
Did you make anything while you were here?
No, I just watched the rest of the years making things.
And are you hoping to come to the school?
Yeah. Definitely.
What has encouraged you?
The sports.
Do you play loads of sports?
Yeah, well, usually just hockey.
Do you play for any certain teams?
Just my primary school and Lurgan Ladies.
Oh, that's nice.
Alright, thank you very much.
Thank you, Lauren.
Thank you.
Chloe, we also have house competitions in school, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
Well, this year, Gosford, we in the netball tournament won. Well, the year 9s did anyway. And I'm in Gosford. What house are you in, Chloe?
Oh, I'm in Dunleath. So I am.
And then what house won the swimming gala?
I'm actually not quite sure. Can you remember?
Was it Shane?
I think
or
it
Carrick?
was Shane.
No, it was Carrick.
It was Carrick. Oh, right. Okay.
Well, we have lots of competitions in our house competitions. We have the swimming galas, we have house netball, house volleyball, and lots of other things like that.
You should really get involved in all of these sports because it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Also, there's form prefects and prefects in our school, isn't there?
Yeah, there is.
Do you want to tell them a bit about what they are?
Well, form prefects are basically when the class will have a vote and the form prefect will carry around a class report book, and the class report book will just basically say what the class is like. Now we're going to go over to the foyer with Victoria.
You, not the camera.
Yeah.
I'm looking at you, Victoria. Victoria, not the camera.
I'm with Mrs. Kerr, and I'm going to ask her a few questions. In our modern Europe, do you think it's important to speak another language?
Oh, very, very definitely. There are so many opportunities now, especially if you have a language. And I've known lots of people who, actually my next door neighbour, for example, and he has just started work in Amsterdam. And I was talking to him at Christmas time, and I said, well, how's it going? He says, you know, the one thing my teachers never told me in school, we always do. But how important languages were. He said, in my team, I'm the worst one at languages. I can speak some French, but everybody else can speak 4 or 5 languages. And so he knows that he could do even better in his job if he had languages. His job has nothing to do with languages, but he knows that if he had more languages, he could go even further in his job. So I think everybody would say now that languages are increasingly important because the world has got a lot smaller and they are very, very useful. So yes, languages are very important.
What opportunities are there for pupils to learn languages at our school?
Well, Lurgan Junior High is the place to come to for languages, yes. We've got 3 languages on offer. Every pupil will do 3 years of French, okay? But in second year, our A and B bands will take on a second language. And this year, our year 9s are doing German, and our year 10s are in their second year of Spanish. And so our current year 8s, when they go into year 9, they will start with Spanish and take it on for 2 years, okay? And we also have language assistants. And if you go upstairs even tonight to the language department, you will find our French assistant Camille, and she's making beautiful crepe, which are pancakes. And so she's very talented, not just with her languages, but with her cooking skills as well.
I can't wait to try those. Back to you at the studio.
Thank you, Victoria. Now we're going to play a clip about the America trip.
What do you think you're going to take back with you that will affect you when you get back, or affect you as you get older?
Well, I think, to know that it's the same over here, that everyone should be equal, no matter where you're from or what you believe in or what colour your skin is. Everybody is, is the same, really.
Yeah, and have the same right to be treated well. Yeah.
Let's welcome them. These folks have taken a very, very long plane ride from Northern Ireland to be here. I've been going for about 10 years now to Lurgan Junior High School, taking students from the college, and I have really come to see what Dr. King meant when he said that everyone can be great because everyone can serve. I've seen that in the lives of these children because in Northern Ireland, their context is divided by sectarianism. Here in Harrisburg, we've had our fair share of violence. And in Northern Ireland, these students and teachers have seen quite a bit too. Dr. King's vision for peace is something that is just as applicable around the world and in Northern Ireland as it is here. Perhaps one of the most inspiring things in my journeys has been to see these children use digital media to tell the stories of their community in their school. They have been doing exciting things with social media. They've been doing exciting things with video. And one of the teachers, Mrs. Marina Moorhead, is here. Marina, would you share a little bit about what you're doing and then introduce your team? Let's welcome Marina.
Thank you. The studio that we run in our school is a really unique and incredibly innovative tool for teaching and learning. And through it, the students, they learn media skills, so they're learning production and planning, researching, reporting, interviewing and presenting skills, camera work, sound and vision mixing, live streaming, and these 4 students that are with me today are part of that. Through that, they also learn soft skills. The whole school are involved, and they learn self-confidence. They have notably improved in their self-confidence throughout the school. They have gained knowledge and understanding of both themselves and their own community, but also widening their horizons to outside of their community through their work in the studio. They're learning communication skills as well. And the studio has really created opportunities and experiences for students that they would not otherwise have, not least of which being here today with you to commemorate Dr. King and his life and legacy. Through it, we broaden their horizons. We teach them that life is not just about them. There is a big wide world out there beyond their own community, and they access it through the studio in part. It has also been inspirational to us as teachers as well as the students because it has really affected how we teach. It has helped us to think outside the box. It has helped us to develop different projects and encourage the students to be involved in those.
I might mention that the entire school from Lurgan is watching us right now. So let's just wave and say hi, Lurgan.
And today, the kids from Ireland are over here bonding with the kids of Harrisburg School District, Messiah College, Stilton High Spire, SciTech, and they all have captured the eyes of the movement, and they're going to be absolutely carrying out this movement by being keepers of the dream. Let's talk about what you're doing here today.
What they're going to do now is what they do, and they're 11 to 14-year-olds.
Good.
Yeah. So,
As I say, shoot.
Well, Governor, I just want to thank you for taking your time to talk to us today. What are some of the things you do as the Governor of Pennsylvania?
So we'll be bringing civic readings on this tomorrow.
Oh, thank you very much. Wow, I appreciate this. Now, this is a wonderful memorabilia, and I am so honored to receive this. I get a lot of international memorabilia, and this is a special one because what you're doing matters to the world. You know, it's going to show that Northern Ireland kids have the courage to stand up in some of the most divisive issues, and it's those kinds of issues that really bring you monumental triumph. You know, I attended a service yesterday, and the theme was remember, celebrate, and act now. And the acronyms that I thought of for ACT was Action Calls as Triumph. And what you're doing today through retaining the stories of service is certainly an act that calls triumph. So God bless you and your brilliancy. And continue to let the Northern people know that we are with them and that they have a mayor in the city of Harrisburg, the capital of Pennsylvania, who loves them so very much.
Pennsylvania is a good place to talk about this because we have a tradition of peacemakers of this sort. We were founded by William Penn, a Quaker. He worked to prevent war. He put his faith in God And he dealt fairly with the tribes when he founded his colony. And you students that are visiting from Lurgan should know something else. James Logan, the man who administered Pennsylvania for William Penn when he first came here, who ran the state on his behalf, was from your town. And I see they're nodding. Yes, we already know that. They got their history lesson before this. He was born in Lurgan in 1674, but he's buried here in the state that he helped create in 1751. So as you join in this day of service, you are continuing more than 300 years of service, one that has long connected our two countries.
What benefits do you think service has on the community?
I think service is incredibly important. It's important for 5 different reasons. The first one is it helps us understand our basic worldview, what life is all about. When you serve other people, you get a sense of meaning and purpose in what life is all about. It also helps us understand ourselves better, who we are, what gifts we have, what we think is important. It helps us understand other people, the world around us. It helps us to situate things in context. So a lot of time things happen in the world and in the news, and we don't really understand the people and the really particular places that happens in. So it helps us put things in perspective, put things in place. And then lastly, it helps us be more responsible with the decisions that we make and the actions that we take.
I'm Mrs. Murhead.
What was your favourite part?
Well, I'm kind of a bit like Lauren, where it's hard to say what my favourite part was because there's been so much that's so good and hard to take in. I agree, I really like the Amish experience and seeing how different people live and how they live so simply, and the whole sense of community and serving each other and looking out for each other.
It's like one big family.
I think, yeah.
Well, we went to the Amish school while there was children in it.
And what did it look like?
It was literally just one wee room with desks the whole way up to the front and a big massive blackboard, because there was like children from 1st grade right up to 8th grade, so the teacher would have to teach all of them, and you could see like the different like sections for each of the different grades. And then on the walls there was the classroom rules, and one of them was no communication allowed in the room, which was quite strange.
Okay, so
Yeah.
can you imagine what it would be like in your school if you were not allowed to talk at all, other than to ask the teacher or answer the teacher?
It wouldn't happen.
They wouldn't abide by it.
They're not I think the Amish, it sort of displayed so much more discipline, like, and self-control, that you really don't have to talk all the time.
Yeah.
Because like they're obviously learning, because like they were happy. It's not as if they were sad and grumpy or anything, but they were always happy and smiling. And then they were told that they had to do chores and they didn't care. They just did it because they were told to do it.
What kind of chores did they do at the end of the day?
They just sweep the floors. I think they to clean the windows or something. Yeah. Stuff that we would.
And they tidy up, so they don't really have school cleaners. They'll come in and the way we do.
Yeah.
So do you think, does that maybe give them more of an appreciation of what they have?
We take it for granted that somebody's going to come in and do that for us, whereas they have to do it themselves, so they won't make a mess or anything, more respect for it.
So here we are in Washington, D.C. at the Washington Monument. We drove from Messiah College this morning to Shady Grove, then took the metro from there to Smithsonian in D.C. Here we are at the War Monuments in Washington, D.C. On each pillar is the name of a state or province in the US. So here we are at the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial. Let's go and have a look.
Has it been in any way a life-changing experience for you? Will you go back to Northern Ireland with any different attitudes or any new attitudes, do you think?
Well, it just shows that like things really aren't so different. Like there are people struggling all over the world. It's not just your little hometown that have their problems, because really everyone does. Talking to the mayor yesterday, she was saying how she does care about us, and like you make new friendships and you really do learn a lot about so many other people.
Okay, Lauren, what do you think you'll take back?
Just to respect other people and not to take anybody for granted, because
everybody's like equal, and nobody should be treated different for any different reasons, what background they come from, their race, or anything.
That was a clip from last year's American trip. There's an SU stand up in our RE corridor. Chloe, have you visited it yet?
Yes, I have. In fact, Rachel's up in the foyer now with Peter, Samuel and Lauren. Over to you, Rachel.
Thank you, Chloe. So, Samuel, what sort of things will you be doing tonight at the stall?
We'll be giving out gospel tracts and encouraging people to go to Scripture Union.
And Lauren, since the term has started after the summer holidays, has there been a raise in attendance?
Yes, there has. A lot of year 8s have been coming in, and it's really good.
And when SU meetings are on, when you meet on SU in the Thursdays after school, what all do you get up to?
Well, at the start it's really weird because Miss Kennedy gives out biscuits, and then afterwards we'll praise and worship God and pray to Him.
I hear there's an SU weekend every year. What sort of fun things do you get up to there?
Well, we get up to fun games and then activities like walking around the parks and all. And we'll have some talks as well, so there's also a serious side.
Have you made more friends and met more people since you've started SU?
Yes, I have. Some good friends.
Back to the studio.
Thank you, Rachel. Now, Chloe, you're very interested in sports and you're in a lot of sporting clubs. Can you tell me a bit about which ones you're in?
Well, I'm in netball and I'm in athletics. Well, athletics doesn't run to like the summer term.
Yeah.
And, well, I was in hockey in first year, but then I just really... And I was also in tennis. Are you in any?
Well, I go to netball as well, and then I also go to SU, as we just saw from Rachel, and also drama. But you're very involved with drama, aren't you?
Oh, yes, I am. Drama's very fun. We get to, and there's also a London trip coming up.
I know, I can't wait. I'm going in June.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. There's lots of different things we're doing. We're going to see lots of shows and just tours of London and doing lots of things. And if you come to our school, then maybe you could come as well. What do you enjoy most about drama, Chloe?
Well, I think it's the actual drama because you just really get to express yourself and it's really, really fun.
I know, I find that too. Now, we're over to Jodie up in the foyer who's interviewing one of our PE teachers, Mrs. Dugan.
Mrs. Dugan today. Hi, Miss Dugan. Hello. So, is netball a popular sport in London Junior High School?
Yes, very much so, and nice to see you this evening, Jodie. Very much so, yes, it's very popular, most definitely, and it's offered on the curriculum, and it's also offered as an extracurricular activity, and judging by the numbers that come along to practices, that there are a lot of girls who are involved in it. But just as you know, Jodie, netball, you're a player yourself, netball is not just about throwing a ball into a ring. There's a lot of skills involved in the game. There would be agility, jumping and stretching, and strength and stamina and movement around the court. And of course the girls really love the social interaction as well. They really like to come down and make friends and meet their friends and make new friends. And that's all very useful if you're year 8 and you want to get integrated into school life.
Yeah, it really does give you opportunities. When does netball take place in school?
Well, netball is offered within the curriculum and as extracurricular, as I said. And within the curriculum, they have a 6-week block in year 8 and year 9 and year 10. And then after school on a Monday, the year 8s come after school, and Mrs. McDermott and Mrs. Graham will coach the year 8s. And then on Tuesday, year 8 and 9 come down together after school for an hour from 3:30 to 4:30, and I myself coach them. And even if the girls don't come in year 8, they're very welcome to come and try out sport in the year 9 and year 10 and just get all the benefits from this excellent game.
So what competitions do they take part in?
Well, if you're lucky enough to get selected for a team, there are some great competitions run for netball. In particular, the Vista League, which is a local competition for Craigavon area and surrounding schools. The Vista League runs from September right through until Christmas. And then after Christmas, it goes into a Vista Cup competition, which is a knockout competition. And I'm very pleased to say that in Lurgan Junior High, we've been very successful in this competition over the last 5 years. And many years we have minor and junior wins at both those levels, so I'm really pleased with that. And the other competition, of course, as well, it's really a new venture for us. We started about a few years ago to enter the Northern Ireland Cup and Plate, and so far we have managed to get to the quarterfinals of the Plate. It's a big ask, and it's a lot more effort needed for those games, and we're hoping that by entering that competition with schools from all over Northern Ireland that we'll be able to up our game and improve our performance.
We've had many successes, and thank you for your time, Ms. Dugan. Back to you in the studio.
Hello, I'm here with Nathan now to interview him about his time in the school. So Nathan, what was your first day at Lurgan Junior High School like?
David? Well, the teachers guided me in to the assembly hall, and they were really nice. And then afterwards we went to our to our form room, and Miss Quinn gave us out our books. So she was really nice. She really encouraged us on our first day.
Did you know many people in your class?
Yeah, I was actually quite surprised. There was a lot of people from my primary school in my class. So.
And I've heard you're involved with drama. Could you tell me a bit about your roles that you've been through in this?
Yeah, well, last year there was a big play and called The Boyfriend, and I was a main part in it, and I was Alphonse, so I was quite privileged to get a main part.
Thank you. And now to watch another video about the Copeland Islands.
So Rebecca, what are you doing this weekend?
I'm going to the Copeland Islands.
Wait, where's the Copeland Islands?
I'll show you on the computer. Over here's Belfast, and if you come along, here's Bangor. And just if you go round the coast, you see Donaghadee, and then just a mile off Donaghadee, we'll have Copeland Islands.
So where's your house?
It's right here.
Oh, I'd like to go there.
Would you really like to go?
Yeah, it'd be fun.
We'll take you over.
Watch out there just in case you come across any bones and stuff there. Every now and then the rabbits would dig them up, so you have to push them back down in again.
Oh, seriously?
Cover them over again, you know. But this is the only graveyard on the Copelands. So
there's about 30 people buried here.
And recent years, my great-grandfather included, so we would have scattered their ashes and stuff over here, and people that would come and stay here as in holiday homes that have passed away, we would sort of be along the back wall there and what have you. You know, as you can see, all the old Islanders' gravestones have been here for some time. You know.
They spent their whole life here, so they want to get buried here. Yeah, it's just where they...
Do you want to get buried here?
They were the happiest. Yeah. Our great-granny and granda, they spent their last 20, 30 years of their life on the island, and it's where they were happy. And
this is Chapel Bay, and the chapel is over here. This used to be an old chapel until it was, made into someone's home. Down here on the beach is where we have our bonfire, the 13th of July every year. And it's just, you can have a really beautiful view of the coast and the Warren Road, Donaghadee.
The Arctic Terns come over every year, and we've got the biggest colony in Britain. They normally sit over here and then over on the Cairn Point. My uncle, a couple of years ago, when me and Rebecca were younger, was walking along the landing stage, and you normally have to wave your hand just to say that you're not coming to attack them, and he didn't, and got his head packed and blood everywhere. So It was really funny. It was really funny.
Up the post office and then up onto the old schoolhouse.
Okay.
You see the remains of the old schoolhouse?
Rabbits
big
and
warren there.
get like pheasants and, well, these are the tracks that were made by quads, and it used to be just a sheep track. And like.
And when do you go on the quads?
Well, we go on the quads nearly every weekend we're over, and sometimes we have little races and stuff.
Cool. And they just put it in there?
Yeah. Yeah, because a postman used to come over on the boat and put everybody's post in the post box, and then maybe every morning or every day the islanders used to come up to the post office and collect the post.
Cool. Will somebody steal the post?
Pardon?
Somebody has to steal it if it's just like that?
Well, obviously it had a
no
big
point.
thing on it, like.
Yeah, it's obviously, you know, really wore away now, but there used to be like a big clasp.
Be careful coming through here, guys, okay?
There's a bit of glass and stuff. It used to be in a classroom. It's part of the old school. Oh, that's a big plant.
Like a watch
Obviously.
it.
Oh, James took that.
No, poisonous, I'm not taking it.
Fancy coming to school over here?
No.
Oh yes,
No?
that would be quite fun.
This is where they the old islanders used to hook their horse on. And the horse would have walked around. And they used this here for grinding whatever they were producing at the time. You know?
Yeah.
This is the last remaining area of ploughed stuff. It's really fun to go over on the quad because you go up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down.
Can you imagine walking up and down there for hours on end behind a horse and a plough by hand?
It's actually really fun.
You know?
Turfing the land up.
Turning the soil over? Hard work, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, let's go.
This is the march wall. It's used to divide the island in half. Well, it was. It's not no longer. It was between two families called the Emersons and the Cleggs. I think the Cleggs had this side and the Emersons had that side. Is that right?
Yeah.
And the two families didn't particularly get on that well, and they just decided we'll build a wall and split it in half and just keep it like that.
Well, it was to keep their animals separated from each other.
Yeah. For me, this is the most beautiful part of the island because the beach is so sandy, there's no seaweed, and you can go down there if it's like, there's a couple of places where you can shelter if it rains, and it's good shelter from the wind, and it's just a really nice part of the island, and for me it's beautiful.
Obviously in those days it's been driven by coal, so the coal had to be delivered. So underneath, at the land stage, underneath the grass, you can still see the old quarry, the old coal dust and all sitting where the guys used to have to carry the coal the whole way up that hill to get it into the furnace to keep the light lit. You know, that used to be monks on that end as well.
Oh, monks, yeah. It was island with monks, yeah. Down here is Port Raman, where we have two seal colonies. One is at the opposite side of the island on the current point, and one is down here. And if you're down on the beach and you're kayaking or you're swimming, sometimes the seals will come up really close to you. If you make, you know, sudden movements or something, they'll dive under and swim away back around or under the rocks.
This is the house. It hasn't really been used that much this year.
Yeah, it's not
A
that.
couple of times really, you know. This is what they say. This is where they say that the Talamen are buried, you know. That's sort of folklore, you know, which is whether you believe it.